I've realized that we move through three distinct stages on our ascension journey inside of this human reality. The first stage is forgetting that there's anything beyond this human version of us, in operating from our human thoughts and feelings and desires and pain points without having any level of awareness of anything beyond that. The second stage is where things get really interesting because we remember that there's more. And we realize that we have these soul selves and this higher self, which is the version of us that we can become when we give ourselves permission to believe in our own divinity. But we still see them as outside of us, and that we need to transition into them by changing aspects of who we are that we believe to be wrong or bad in some way. We're still looking at ourselves through this human lens of what I want is achieved by changing who I am. And when I'm successful at doing that, I will no longer feel negative things like shame or judgment or guilt or self-loathing. And anytime I do feel those things, it's a sign of my inherent wrongness. And I need to change me more so that I no longer feel them. And then we get to stage 3, where we realize that our higher selves are not outside of us. They are a part of us. And they are here to work in tandem with our human selves. So it's not necessarily about doing away with our humanness and becoming our higher selves, which we believe to be better than who we are, but rather opening up to that part of us that's already alive within us here and now. Our higher selves don't see any wrongness. They actually see us as perfect. And that's why all they feel is love. Anytime you feel anything other than love within you, it's just a byproduct of the human part of you buying into the belief system of its own wrongness. We've been taught that feeling anything painful is wrong, so we spend our entire lives running from those feelings. But when you can begin to understand that it's just your interpretation of you that created them in the first place, then you can feel and allow what's present through a compassionate lens and shift that experience from pain to love. So opening to your higher self isn't about changing who you are to become them. It's about opening to more of who you are and feeling them there inside of it. And the more we open to our higher selves, the more our frequency rises because we're no longer buying into our previously more limited perspective of who we are or the wrongness that we perceive to be there. And we begin creating and manifesting from that elevated frequency. So it's actually a partnership of your human self and your soul self coming together with the shared purpose of self-realization and self-actualization through love. And that is what home is. It's a free community where you're guided through these different stages of awareness and embodiment by learning how to feel and allow you, open to more of you, and embody more of your higher self's essence in the process, which is essentially unconditional love for you. So, could home be considered ascension school? I guess you could say that. But if ascension is the process of unconditionally feeling and allowing you where you couldn't before, and the process of feeling and allowing all of you allows you to feel safe inside of you, and home is a place where we feel safe to be who we are, then welcome home.